Oh, hi. Late to my own party. Welcome to a Monday edition of Live Painting and Chill with Precious Juggalos. Precious Juggalos is, of course, my business. My name is Shovel. This is what I do. I paint things, and I turn them into Juggalos, and then I go on the internet and I let you watch while I do it. First order of business today is deciding what flavor we're going to drink. And if you've been around for any length of time, you won't be surprised at all by today's flavor. Whoa. It is, yet again, Faygo Cotton Candy. Without any further ado, whoop whoop, JR.
Whoa, whoa!
Going with the cotton candy today. Pretty sure you could deduce that for yourself. But just in case. Hey, Daffy, welcome in, sir.
Whoa, whoa!
Give you a whoop whoop as well. Look at that, I must have gotten too much ice today. I almost overfilled my my mug. Oh, I posted something in the Discord earlier today in Call Your Mom. It's just, so it's the 9th anniversary of losing my best friend to suicide. So, you know, it's kind of on my heart today. It's not like I'm hugely depressed or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's I'm to the point with all of it that I've accepted it, you know. Yeah, and so, but it's something that he's still important to me, so still mark the day. And I also know that talking about Brett can be helpful to a lot of other people too, because it's a strange situation. Nobody ever thinks about the friends that are left behind. Everybody thinks about, you know, husband, wife, mom, dad, kids, close family. Nobody thinks about the best friend, and it's just as painful for them. So anyway, whoop whoop, guys. So I promise it's not going to be a huge sob story day today, but I did figure I would at least show you this. Let me blow the dust off of it. So I keep this on my desk here, obviously. So this is from, I think, sophomore year of high school. This cool guy right here, that would be me. I mean, obviously, that was back when I was running 12 miles a day. So I looked a little different, just slightly. The man behind the camera there, that's my buddy Staley. He actually works in the film industry. He travels the world now. He shooting different things for commercials and stuff. He's in film production. Pretty cool. Actually, for a while there, he worked for the ad agency in New York City that, if you remember classic SNL, the fake commercials back in classic SNL, like Phil Hartman days, like Colon Blow, Schmidt's Gay, all those old fake commercials that they used to do on SNL. The ad agency he worked for actually made those commercials, so they had display cases out in the lobby with boxes of Colon Blow and bottles of Schmidt's Gay and all the different things. Super cool. But anyway, this lovely young fella right here, this is Brett. That's my buddy Brett Doolittle. So we were all part of a video production team at our school. We would go to, you know, school events or whatever, and we would shoot video, and then we had a TV show. We started on public access, and then it turned into an actual accredited class for the school, and it still is to this day. But anyway, so that's Brett back in the day. He was a character. He and we did improv comedy together. And we were actually a really a good team. really played well off of each other. Actually competed. There's something called forensics in high school that it's like competitive acting and dramatic speaking and things like that. And one of the events is improvised duet acting. And yeah, so Brett and I, we did that together. In fact, after high school, Brett and I were roommates for a while in Leavenworth, Kansas. And while we were living together, Brett came up with the idea of the two of us moving to Chicago and going to Second City and improving our craft there. And eventually, hopefully leading to joining the cast of SNL, because SNL still recruits pretty heavily out of Second City. It's still kind of a big deal to go to Second City, work at Second City, train at Second City. So that was the plan. We were going to move up there, and then in the process of getting prepared for that, he signed up for the police academy here in Kansas City. And but it was already too late. I had already put a deposit down on an apartment, and so he stayed and I went. And obviously I didn't make it to SNL. Didn't really do too much at Second City. Actually, him not going with me, I think it kind of I still was probably overly confident, honestly. But without him being there with me, it did kind of pull me back a little bit. So that all dried up after I partied too hard with the comedian crowd. So I came back here to Kansas City and yada, yada, yada. Several moves later, and here we are today. Meanwhile, he went to the police academy. And he became an LEO. And there are legends of Sergeant Brett Aaron Doolittle with the KCKPD. There was one time where, and this story blows my mind, police were called. There was a suspicious suitcase that was left in a lot somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but it was like an official building, so it was a big deal, and it was ticking, and so obviously, but it was night shift. So that threw up a bunch of red flags. And Doolittle was the sergeant on duty for the shift, so shift supervisor. And hey, Maya, here.
Woo woo.
There you go. So he's got a bunch of his officers there, kind of cordoning off the area, and they had called, the bomb squad, which would be also SWAT or whatever, and so they were waiting for everybody to get there, and all of his officers were coordinating all that. And Brett got there and he was like, what are you guys doing? And so they explained it all, and he was like, no, I already knew that. Why are you doing all this? And they're like, well, we think it's a bomb. And they'd already taped it off, and they were had already had people evacuate some homes and stuff. And then Brett just walked up to the suitcase and he was like, it's nothing. And he kicked it. And so obviously everybody freaks out. And so he kicks it over. And then nothing happened. So then he opens it up, and it was like nothing. I forget what it was. It was some toy was in it that was a button on it was being pressed, and it was an Elmo or something. And so it was just moving around inside the suitcase, and it was like a homeless guy's bag of weirdness. So yeah. So Sergeant Brett Doolittle diffused a bomb by kicking it over. And then rumor has it, after all of it went down and everybody got, called off, that Brett may have actually done it himself. There's some whispers of that, which is distinctly possible. Yeah. So anyway, that's what Brett was like. Hanging out with Brett was a trip. He was he was a good guy, and I still definitely miss him. It's 9 years later. You know, it's, you can move on from a thing, you know, or not even necessarily move on. You can like, feel better about a thing without like betraying your friend. So like, I still have all the love in my heart for Brett and miss him dearly all the time. There's still so many times that I'm watching a movie or I'm doing something and all I can think of is, I wish Brett was here. Painting these things, the precious Juggalos, all the time, all I can think is, I wish I could show this to Brett. Like this, a Garbage Pail Kid thing. He would go nuts, the fact that I'm doing that. And the funny thing is, he was an artist. Like, he was really an amazing artist. Worked in clay, but he could do anything. He did a lot of like pottery. But it was really cool that he would, I don't know, he would like mold a pot and then he would blowtorch it. So like the texture of the exterior would be really interesting. Real cool stuff. Real cool guy. And the world is lesser without him. So here's to Brett Doolittle. And I know we all have our own Brett Doolittles that were in our lives. It's just, you know, it's good. It's good to memorialize them, and it's good to remember them. I remember the bad stuff too. Obviously, there was bad stuff too. There were some pretty rough demons, but I honestly didn't know too much about it until after he was gone. And I wish, if I could have changed anything, I wish I wouldn't have taken our relationship for granted, and I wish I would have, I don't know, created an opportunity where he felt more comfortable to share some of his stuff. But so it goes. So there's that. I'll probably wax poetic more about Brett. It's like I said, today's his day. And it will be for the rest of my life. And I hope it always will be. While other people have forgotten him or forgotten the true spirit of Brett and have turned his death into marketable things for themselves. To me, he's still just my friend from 5th grade that used to run around on a moped with, he wore weightlifter's gloves and a black leather jacket. And tried to look like a biker mice from Mars or something, like some real tough guy, like a leather daddy, on his little moped, and he would trash around on that thing like he was the coolest dude ever. And I'm talking about he was 16 years old. He was fun. So anyway, obviously I've got a dinosaur here. I painted another T-Rex and somebody bought it, and she actually likes it a lot. So I've got another one here, and this one, I don't know why. I think he's done. Okay. I don't know why he makes 90s Godzilla noises, but he does. So there's that. So I figure we'll paint him in the spirit of Brett. Something dumb, something silly, something fun. Dinosaurs are pretty stinking cool. There's no two ways around it. And Juggalo dinosaurs, well, that's just next level right there. I remember the other one I painted, it really was just, I didn't think it was going to work out very well, trying to apply Juggalo anatomy to a dinosaur T-Rex face, but I think it actually turned out pretty good. So So we'll see how this one goes. It should be alright. Either way, it'll be funny. Crocodile Samurai, that's awesome. Maya is drawing a Crocodile Samurai. Well, I'm glad to know I hit a sweet spot with Maya. Hey, Res Reaper. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Rez, I'm sure you probably saw my post on, so I'm part of, oh, Certain Shade. Good to see you too. Hey, whoop whoop. How about everybody gets a quick one?
Woo woo!
We'll just get everybody covered there. Good to see y'all. So today is a memorial episode for my friend Brett. I will probably tell more stories of Brett as they come to mind while I play with this dinosaur. So if trigger warning, if you don't want to hear about, well, I won't be giving any gory details of his suicide, obviously, because that's not what I'm about. But if just the topic of suicide is something that's too heavy, that is something that will be discussed today, because that is how I lost my best friend. And so yeah, so that's on the menu for this episode. So yeah, trigger warning. Just in case, I'm sure y'all are cool. And I'm like I said, I'm not gonna talk about anything obnoxious or, you know, anything to betray his memory. But I also know, hold on, my wife is calling. So 1 second, let me... All right, sorry about that. Yeah. Hey, Moon Crater. So yeah, my wife, I wouldn't have talked to her, but she knows I'm streaming, so I knew it was important. So just to add to the weirdness of the day today, she was just involved in a shooting. So yay, big city living. She's fine. Somebody just opened fire right next to her. So yeah. So she's okay, but obviously a little shaken up. She's not home yet. So man, what a day. Huh. What a day. So if I do cut out early, everything's fine. My mental health is fine. I'm not leaving because of the aforementioned Brett situation. And even talking about him now, just so y'all know, I'm in a good state of mind. Like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. But yeah, once my wife gets home, she was obviously pretty worked up on the phone. Once she gets here, if she's still worked up, then I'll be ducking out to be a good husband. But in the meantime, we're here. So yeah, nothing memorializes my buddy more than my wife being involved in a random shooting in Kansas City. So, whoop whoop, everybody. You know what? Let's take a quick Faygo break. Golly. Yeah. She is good. She comes from a small town. So, hey, Liv. Let me give you one.
Woo, woo!
There you go. So my wife comes from a small town, so initially, yeah, the big city experience was a little rough to adapt to, because we're in an area where we do hear gunshots fairly often. Daily. Yeah, I might have to dress this up a little bit. Golly. Anyway. And then I just get a notification from Amazon. It is a chaos-filled stream today. This isn't normal. Most of you are pretty typical watchers and participators in the channel, so you know this is outside of normal. If this is your first time being in this stream, I promise it's not normally talking about the suicide of my friend or my wife being involved in a shooting incident or crazy alarms going off in my house. This isn't a normal day. This is a very strange day. Yeah, so here we are. Here we are in the Juggalo dungeon. I am Shovel of Precious Juggalos. Yeah. So it is the ninth anniversary of the death of my best friend. A 15-year veteran of the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. Very, very cool guy. Very, very special guy. And when I say he was, because not everybody has a great opinion of the police. When I say he was one of the good ones, he 100% was. That's not to say that he didn't do his job. He absolutely did. He had a very strong sense of justice, but he also, he was an artist. He was creative. He was an Eagle Scout. He came from a poor family. He was raised in a very abusive family, so he was very protective of children. Yeah. So he was a very, very good cop. Every officer that I've ever talked to that worked with or under Sergeant Doolittle has nothing but the greatest things to say. And same for me. I mean, obviously he had demons, so there were experiences with him that weren't great. There was one time while I was living in Chicago, he used to drink pretty hard. And, if you were with him, you were just trying to keep up, pretty much. Because when it was fun, it was a lot of fun. And when it stopped being fun, it was very not fun. But yeah, so there was one time, just to give you an example of and this is Dirty Frank. I posted about this. Our name for Brett when he would get too drunk or too violent or too difficult was his name was Dirty Frank. And when Dirty Frank would show up, the party was over and it was time to go to bed. So one time in my apartment, it was New Year's Eve in Chicago. We were having a lot of fun and didn't realize that Brett was teetering the line between Fun Brett Doolittle and Dirty Frank. But he, in his drunken state, decided that he was going to blow fireballs. So he would get a mouthful of whiskey, and then he would light a Zippo and try to blow a fireball. Problem is, we were 8 stories up in my 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago proper. I did not live in the suburbs. I lived in North Side. And the bigger problem was not just we were inside my apartment. The window was open, but I was between him and the window. Thankfully, nothing ever lit, but he sure did spit a whole lot of whiskey on me that night before we got the lighter taken away from him, cackling the entire time. He did. We were able to kind of talk him down when he was doing that, and I think it was kind of like with the Incredible Hulk. You know, you would have to like talk him down so that Bruce Banner would come back. It's kind of the same thing with Dirty Frank. You would just have to like reason with him if you caught him before he got too dirty. We were able to catch him that night and talk him back to reality and explain how it probably wasn't a good idea to spit whiskey all over your best friend while trying to ignite it inside of his apartment. So then we went to the bars instead. Yeah, good times. Yeah, it was interesting, but we were 21 years old. Not to make crazy excuses for terrible behavior, but I'm sure that's happened to quite a few other people. That was also, early on. Well, not early on in our relationship, but early on in like our ability to drink legally. So, before we were 21, we were still drinking, but there were limitations. We couldn't just go out and get more. It was more complicated than that. After we turned 21, it was a bottomless well sometimes, which can be problematic. Oh, I've got a story to tell. Yeah, I've got plenty of them. Plenty. A lot that I won't tell, because, if my kids watch this stream, I don't want them to know all the stories. Because not all of them are great. Hey, what's up, man? Easy Army, right? Did I get that right? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I will say one weird thing about being, my age and losing a friend like that, 9 years ago, so he was about 35, 34. It's not, when it's somebody that you've been so close to for so long, 20 years, it's not easy to just, like, replace that friend. You know what I mean? And I still feel like I haven't, and I also know that I never really will. I'll never replace Brett. But in terms of having like someone in my life that I am connected to that way, it's hard when you're a grown adult to make friends like that. You know, when you're kids, if a guy happens to have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that you're looking for, all of a sudden, you know, you could be best buddies for life. That doesn't really come up as an adult, and it can be really hard to make good friends as an adult. We're a lot more set in our ways and a lot less accepting when we're older. So anyway, all that to say, whoever you have in your life that you consider a friend or a good friend, let them know that. Let them know how significant they are to you. Because it's important. And it's also important to, like, I don't know, not establish boundaries, but just set expectations. Because I have people in my life that have told me that I'm their best friend, and I had no idea, because I was connected to them, but I didn't know that it was at that level for them, because it wasn't so much for me. And I realized that, you know, there's not a debt owed, but there's a gravity to it, and you have to respect that. And it changes the dynamic. And I think for the better, you know, because the expectation now is, okay, well, that guy or gal looks at me in that very special way, and I need to respect that, and I need to be cognizant of it, and I need to treat them in kind, and not just, you know, blow them off when they call. But also, you got to let people know that they're important to you, no matter what. Best friend, just a medium or mild friend, let them know that they're important to you, that when you're thinking about things, you think about them, because that could make a big difference in their life. Some people think they're alone. Some people think they don't have friends, and they don't realize that you consider them a good friend. So yeah, never take a relationship for granted. And don't feel like it's weird to talk to people about how much you love them. Like, there's no reason to make that weird. Like, I don't care that I'm 44 years old and I have a lot of love in my heart for another, 44-year-old man. There's nothing weird about that. I think he's an awesome guy. So I'm going to let him know I love him. And this day, every year, I kind of go through my phone and I kind of do, like, send some messages out just to let people know, like, I really prize you, like, as a friend. You're important to me. Even if we haven't talked in the last year, it's still, those people still have significance, and there's probably someone else out there that needs to hear that, and they probably have wanted to say it to you too. And yeah, especially now that we're all internet and like this right now, like, y'all are watching me on YouTube, and it's cool. We've built relationships out of this little chat bar here. Like JR, I've never met him. I consider him my brother. I respect him and I trust him. And anytime I have an issue and I message him, I know he's going to message me back. He's a good dude. And we all need those. We need those in our lives. Find them. Don't give up. Even if it's just some guy that you met from a weird Juggalo Discord server. Whatever, dude. He's a good guy. It's absolutely important. I agree, Liv. Yeah. Yeah, well, but that's the problem. Like, it's really easy to connect, but it can also be false, like, all of this, if I just stopped streaming, and I know I've said this before, if I've just stopped streaming and I dropped off the Discord, you know, the whole thing's severed. I'm not going to do that. But you know, because of this crazy connectivity that we have via the internet, we can establish a lot of false relationships that are essentially meaningless. But we need to not let that happen. Give them the gravity. Make them real. Don't just let it be like, yeah, I DM'd so-and-so and they seem like a cool person. Make it real, you know? Yeah. Exactly, Moon Crater. Yeah, exactly. And there were times Brett and I, we would lose touch. We would lose touch for, you know, months or whatever. Like he got married, I got married, we were living in different cities, 2 different career paths, you know. And yeah, we would just go long periods where we just wouldn't talk. We would always go back to each other, you know, but still that in that like vacuum, that momentary separation, like it's still like, even though I knew that relationship wasn't ending, it's still valuable, and you still, it's worth putting out the effort. I still should have, like, maybe not every day. I'm honestly, I'm not that guy. I'm not like, I kind of like, being quiet a lot, but you know, if something comes to mind, like, oh yeah, Brett would think that's interesting, I should have sent him a message. If I watched a movie and I thought Brett would have liked that, I should have let him know. And a lot of times I would just keep it to myself and think, next time I see him, I'll talk about it. And I would forget about it. I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling. All this to say, never take advantage of your relationships here. Because it's all temporary. Every single bit of it. And it could all end in any given moment. And I don't know, we just need to love each other more. Yeah. All that to say, you guys do mean a lot to me. The 4:30 stream, like, it's not just painting, and it's not just, hey, what's up? Yeah. I saw that you're doing a dinosaur too. Hey, but mine does this. And he'll do it. Yeah. Now he's done. There you go.
Woo!
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, you guys do mean a lot to me. Even though I don't even know your real names, and I just see your screen names, just having you here is awesome, and I love it. And I love the hour a day that we get together. But that's also not putting any pressure on you. You don't have to be here. You know, this is just a casual thing. But just to let you know, it means a lot to me. This was an unintentional thing. I just thought, I don't know what I thought. I just thought people would enjoy watching me paint, but it's become more than that. It's become a community, and I like that a lot. So yeah, I care about you guys. So yeah, if nothing else, walk away from this episode knowing that Shovel loves you very much. Absolutely. Yeah. And that being said, honestly, if anybody has any struggles or whatever, you know, I'm an open book. You know, I'm a dad. I've been a mentor. I've worked in like counseling capacities. I've done a lot of things, and I've experienced a lot of things. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody or vent, or you feel like you're coming to the end of yourself, contact me. I have no problem with that. I absolutely have no problem with that. And I've offered that to a lot of people, and I do sometimes get 2 a.m. messages of from folks that are struggling, and you know, I don't have a problem with sitting in it with you, even if it's just through, you know, Facebook Messenger or whatever. Yeah. So there's that. I might even tell you my real name. Yeah, I do. Anyway, whoop whoop, y'all. Love you. Love you very much. Right. So, some of you that have joined weren't here earlier. I'm just going to pull this picture down again real quick so you can kind of get an idea of who I'm talking about. So, I won't go into as much detail as before. This is a picture of me and 2 of my buddies. We used to do video production back in high school. This is my goofy self right here. Back when I weighed a lot less and I ran a lot more. That's my buddy Staley. And then this is my buddy Brett. This is the fella that we lost 9 years ago. Brett Doolittle right there. Police sergeant. Eagle Scout. Improv comic. Artist. Super guy. Super cool guy. And like I said, the world suffers because we don't have this guy. So just this episode's dedicated to him and his memory. And I keep this picture on my desk. It's obviously over there. Usually I just put it over there. But yeah, so he's always in my line of sight. I like keeping him there because he can, I don't know, keep an eye on what I'm doing. And if he were alive today, he would actually probably thoroughly enjoy what I do, but he would also probably be an excellent resource because I don't know what I'm doing. He actually went to art school. He went to NYU. He dropped out, but he went to NYU to go to their film school. But he also took some art courses while he was there, and he was a really good artist. So yeah, he would have been able to coach me in a lot of ways, in proper techniques. And I wish I had that. That'd be real nice, especially from him. All right. While I've been rambling, we've been working on this T-Rex. This is the second one I've painted. The other one, I don't know if y'all remember, it was that weird blue and pink party, like birthday party clown costume T-Rex. It was weird. Anyway, I painted it. It turned out a lot better than I expected. And it actually, somebody bought it, and they it's next to their TV. They love it. So I figured I would paint another one, because this is another thing in the shop, how I talk about how I always want to have cheap options. This would be another one, because, you know, it's lightweight, easy to ship. It didn't hardly cost anything. So this is a good way to keep something stocked in my shop that is approachable for everybody financially. Yeah. Weird episode. What a weird episode. But I kind of knew it was going to be. And honestly, the fact that I haven't, like, broken down into tears says a lot for where I am with all of this. That's not to say I didn't cry earlier today. I did. I have no problem admitting that. Because it still hurts, you know? But I didn't know if talking about him with y'all was gonna make me emotional. There's been a couple of moments, honestly, where it's kind of bubbled, but yeah, the fact that I can talk about him openly like this and not be absolutely wrecked, it's a good sign. I feel good about that. I really do. After I lost him, I did actually go to a suicide survivors support group for a while, but I had to stop going. And it's not because of anything that the group was doing wrong. It's just I'm the type of person that when I hear people talk about their suffering, I take it on, and it becomes very weighty for me. And obviously in that space, hearing multiple people talk about losing their loved ones and the struggles they were having because of it was extremely weighty. And I was walking away more heavily weighted than I was when I went in. So I had to stop going for my own good. But if ever there was another thing to walk away with from this stream, it's you have to know yourself and your limitations. Understand your feelings and what's appropriate and what you need to work on and what you need to let go of. And if I hadn't known myself better, I probably would have forced myself to continue to go to that group in spite of myself. But thankfully, I was more aware of myself and able to stop it before it got too bad. But that's also what makes me a good listener. Because I don't want you to hear that and think it negates my offer earlier of, if you ever feel like you need to talk to someone, know that you can talk to me, you can reach out to me. And when I talk about how I take on other people's feelings and pain, it's not that it wrecks me. Well, in that room, there were so many people at the same time that it did wreck me. But one-on-one, I still take it on, and it's still a burden, but it's a lot easier to deal with, and you can deal with it together and work through it together. And so as I lighten yours, it lightens mine. In that room, it was just constantly taking it on. I couldn't process with anybody. So yeah, don't hear that and think, well, that's the opposite of what you just said. 100% is not. I'm open to any of you anytime. I can tell that my wife is home, but she has not come downstairs to me, so that tells me that she's doing okay. So, if you were worried about my wife, she's fine. I will talk to her after the stream, though, obviously. Mm-hmm. Hmm. All right. Oh, that's cool. Tip of my brush just popped right off. That's fun. Yes, this is definitely art therapy. I've kind of talked about that before, about how, you know, painting these Juggalo faces helps me just deal with, like, stress and stuff. And Brett's death is actually part of the package of stress, among other things. But yeah, so painting these, that's how this all got started. Was like I don't know, I just wasn't, just had a lot in my heart that I wasn't dealing with well, and so painting these was fun and funny for me, and it made my heart feel lighter, and so I just kept doing it, and here we are today. And now we have a stream with you lovely people that I can lay my burdens out on and talk about insane things on a random Monday, and April 22nd, 2024. Here we all are. This is another thing right here. It would be fun to tell Brett about this. He would not believe that this is a thing. After all those years of trying to work in television together, here we are. So anyway, we'll get a quick little visit from Jesus here. Just checking in on everybody, making sure everybody's okay. I'm okay. You guys okay? I'm good. You're fine. I saw it on your table, and I almost commented, Wiggles, about your dinosaur, but I didn't want to. There was no need. I didn't want you to think I was like calling you out, and like we've talked about before, there's nothing. I don't care. Because I think you're getting it too now, Wiggles. Like, you painting your things, it's the same. I think it's good for your heart and your soul and your mind. So I'm not going to rob you of that. You can paint whatever you want, man. And I hope you continue to sell them too. That's awesome. Like, if doing this, if it makes you feel good and then you can make money off of it too, shoot, doesn't get any better than that. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. It is 5:25. Thank you, Wiggles. It's been a weird stream. It's a weird day. It is what it is. Tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow's a new day, and Brett will be on my heart, but he'll be a lot quieter in there. So it'll be more normal tomorrow. Today's just a little different. But I'm glad we were able to talk, and I was glad I was able to chat with y'all. If you could, definitely do hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please do that as well. I'm at 479 subscribers right now. I am really trying to get it to 500. What I need to do is edit some videos, Wiggles. I'm really bad about that. And I've got plenty of material in the can from these live streams. I just need to cut it together and make videos. Maybe I'll work on that tonight. Maybe that'd be a good thing to work on. But yeah, if you dig what I do, there's a link in the chat for my shop. There's still some pieces in there if you're into it. Help yourselves. I don't know why my camera keeps losing focus. Kind of like me. It's okay. But yeah, so I'll be back again tomorrow, Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel here on YouTube, streaming from 4:30 p.m. till about 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wiggles also, or Dreadlock Juggalo. Actually, if you click on him, go bounce over to his channel too. He does painting and other things. Watch his stuff, subscribe to him. He's really trying to build up a good channel over there with good Juggalo content. If that's what you're into, he's the man. Also, that link to the Discord server. If you want another avenue of people to talk to about things that you're dealing with, that's another tool. Honestly, you don't have to be a Juggalo. It doesn't matter. It's a good spot to talk to people. If you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling marginalized, or you're feeling like you're struggling, just click on that. Join the server. Even if it's just to chat with me, it's another way to be able to talk. You're more than welcome. But if you're a Juggalo, especially, that server is meant for you. It's a Juggalo server about Juggalo stuff. So if you want to stay up to date on what's happening, different events, different concerts, just be able to talk Jug stuff, jump on that server. So I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things. Find me on those, like and do whatever. Follow me. I know, yeah. I try to do a short every day. It doesn't always happen. But it's the long format videos I really need to get more serious about. I know I said that like months ago, but really I need to get serious about them. Anyway, love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, JR. When I say I love you, it, from my heart, it's honest. I do. This weird guy in Kansas City that goes by the name Shovel loves you very much. So yeah, join me back here again tomorrow. It'll be more standard painting, less waxing poetic on relationships and feelings. But I'm glad we were able to have this time together. So there you go. I'm gonna go check on my wife and make sure she's okay. And I hope you all have a great day. As you step away from this stream, there's probably someone that you're thinking about right now about, man, I wish I would let him know or her know how I feel. Call him. Do it. What's stopping you? Get on your phone and call him after. In 1 minute, I'm going to hit end broadcast. Pick up your phone and call that person. Let them know how you feel. Let them know how significant they are to you. And don't let a day pass, another day, where you're not opening your heart to another person. You have to. If you don't, that's how we fail to survive. Open your heart. So there you go. That's all I got. Oh, and JR's streaming tonight. So yeah, he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2. But he's trying to get through the game as a bad cowboy, which is very hard. To be an evil character in that game. I mean, it's possible, but it's very difficult. And it's an awesome game. So if you want to go hang out with JR, definitely go hang out with JR on that stream. I'll be there. So yeah, so there you go. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Evil cowboy stuff. Bye.